Welcome to the show. This is going to be a very special show because right inside of it, I will open the door live of the new group of Twin Flame Abundance Now that welcomes you in so that you can go to your true twin flame and the harmonious union of you. Plus, become a union coach yourself and start to make money on your own. Make more money back than you invest in your union. And yeah, I will just open it right inside this stream. So I think that's awesome. Creative Universe Checkpoint Earth presents Union News. The door opens. It'll open indeed, very literally. The real twin flame work happens on the inside, and then it will guaranteed manifest outside. In this series of lives, I share about what that means for my union consciousness process to inspire you to find yours. And it serves as the source for your almost daily twin flame news. Today on the show, we have the door opens. And as I just said, yeah, it will open live right here. And afterwards, I will spread that the door opened on all places on the internet where you can find me and in a newsletter and all over the place. Because I decided that we're just on the eve of this special day tomorrow, Saturday, 111, Saturday, the 1st of November, the 1st of the 11th month. On the eve of it, already open it. That was like a fresh idea that I had. It felt so good in my heart to already give you early access before it is even 111, because this is just a beautiful twin flame date tomorrow, and you can take it all in by looking at the offer online with the door open and decide if you want to step into it. And did you know that if you want to, tomorrow on Saturday, or when you are hearing the recording of this live, maybe it is already Saturday, so today then, right? You can immediately buy and the same day start your program if you want to. If you need one more day, that's possible. And we'll start everything up for you. And I will see you in the live inside the group year course, Twin Flame Abundance Now, plus education to become a twin flame coach next week. And that's how it continues week after week after week. And, you know, it just opens. This is a door that opens. And when you dive into it, you get everything of that open door automatically just by you entering through it. And that is because, well, that's how my relationship with Divine Mother is attuned, that you step into it and this whole world of twin flame magic starts to pour over you automatically. And you start to be taking into this healing atmosphere where your union will become healed. Because now you said yes, and Divine Mother heard your yes. Well, that's the least it does, and a lot more. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so amazing. And today we are going to talk about that door opening and that it is just going to be so amazing right away because it is a portal. It is a portal. My program is a portal. Just like today when it opens tomorrow on Saturday, 111 is a portal. Twin flame portal. Did you know that your twin flame union is a portal? So the whole question is, do you walk through it? And that's the invitation in this life. Do you actually walk through the portal? Or are you like, oh, yeah, I got a touch from the portal and I loved it, but I'm not going to walk through it? And, the thing is, then the real deal cannot be made come true in your life because you feel that only a touch is enough. And then it can't come into your life because in your life is not only a touch. In your life is everything poured over you every moment, again and again and again and again, eternally forward, so that it starts to ground in your life and starts to get roots in your life and manifest in your life and bring its abundance in your life and bring the true twin flame in your life and bring the true mission in your life and bring true love in your life, divine attention in your life. It starts to really transform every single aspect of your life into a version that you haven't seen before, into its peaceful, harmonious, divinely loving version of itself. And your twin flame is just one of the symptoms of it, so to speak. And it is the one that you want and the one that will guaranteed be yours. But it is a total transformation of everything, but only if you truly walk through the door and keep on walking in that direction, walking and walking, and don't turn around. Or now it starts to sound like this some sort of a story from mythology, isn't it? Like, who was that? Like Persephone or something? That she shouldn't look back. No, that's another one. Well, let me know and as a comment if you know that by heart. Like, who was that? And you shouldn't turn around, because then everything will turn into a pillar of ash or something, or a pillar of stone. I don't know. Keep on walking forward. That's the message. That's the message for sure. And let me for a moment explain why we have the possibility to become a paid Patreon member on this and all live shows. You can listen to it and enjoy it, and that's fine. But if you want the content of these shows to spiritually work healing on your union, you invest in the messages. That's how you support your union healing. Money unlocks it. Yeah, and I think we're going to look further in. The door opens, and this is a portal, and today is a portal, and tomorrow is a portal. Like, we're on the eve of the portal, and the program is a portal, and your union is a portal. And who knows, we can first research the twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day to see if we get some more on that, and then the ACIM lesson of the day, and then we dive into my books and whatnot. So let's see. Twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day. Union is a portal for your abundance to start to come through right into your heart and experience. You better activate it now. Union is a portal for your abundance to start to come through right into your heart and experience. You better activate it now. Well, that's kind of clear. Union is a portal. And through it comes everything to you when you allow it that your heart truly desires. And your twin flame is like a very central, hugely important first deal in that. But there's more. There's your mission. There's your support. There's your soul money. There's your union friends, your union clients, your mission business that you start to build, the family that you start to build together, the relationship that you start to build together, the marriage that you start to build together. It's all these things. And all in the form and of the magnitude of what is fit for uniquely you in your union, according to what your heart longs for. And, that can be an enormous amount of money and support. Being famous over the whole world, talked about on every corner of the internet every day, if that's for you. But here's the thing, not everyone wants to be famous, and not everyone needs to have millions upon millions every year or every month. Because maybe for you, that's not really necessary to make your heart truly satisfied. Maybe just, well, more than enough is more than enough, right? It depends on the lifestyle that you want to lead, that your heart truly wants to lead. And it's so interesting to see that twin flames, they will have this lifestyle together that is sort of, it's like plus plus, because they may have a slightly different idea of their ideal lifestyle, but they can be combined, and then everything that they both want can be made come true in what they can combined will do, can do, must do, feel that they are going to do. Because underlying their relationship are their values, and their underlying values fit together like a glove. So maybe one person says, yeah, I want to eat lots of chicken because I love that and it makes me feel so good. And then the other says, yeah, I love to eat so much fruit because it makes me feel so healthy and good and alive. And I love that. So it's like, well, we have a very different style of eating. That doesn't fit together. What are you talking about? But no, you both value that you just really eat what gives you the most peace, love, and energy. And that's the underlying value that you both have. So it can be the same with money, for instance. Like one twin flame might say, well, but I need millions upon millions. And the other says, well, I just need enough. But it's like, why? Why do you need millions? Why do you need just enough? Because they both want to feel satisfied so that they can have more than what they need and feel prosperous. But that is like the underlying value, and that can be lived together and make the heart's wishes of both come true. You will always manifest inside that relationship what you want of it. And your twin flame will manifest inside your relationship what they want of it. When you are in harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, when you keep on doing the correct twin flame inner work, when you keep on being in connection with a true twin flame school and community and teacher, and don't walk away, and then that will all work out exactly as I just said. So this abundance that starts to come through for you when you allow that portal to indeed work as a portal for you, that will be exactly what your heart desires. So that's what we were talking about, right? It comes right into your heart and experience. And this union that you experience in the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union that it is all about, you still have, well, sort of your side of the experience of it. Isn't that interesting? And they have their side of the experience of it. You have like your divine feminine side of the experience of it. They have like the divine masculine side of the experience of it, for instance, or the other way around. I don't know. And you still have your own experience there, and you can experience exactly there what you came for. That's the magic of this harmonious union that you crave. This is really what it's about. It's not about being with the body of your twin flame under one roof, although that may be the desire of most of you, and it will be made come true, and it will be wonderful. But that's not the core of it. The core of it is being in that relationship experience inside the fundamental consciousness shift of harmonious union. That's what you're here for. And it is completely possible. And this is what everyone that talks about twin flame this, twin flame that on the internet or whatnot actually longs for. But they have slightly misunderstood conclusions about all these things. But that's what that really makes come true. So that's why I propose to work on that consciousness state out of which the things will be born that you want, that are specific to your union, that are concrete, actual life. So, union is a portal, and you better activate it now. You need to activate it. It's not a passive portal. It's not like, yeah, well, I will wait another eternity until the universe makes it come true for me. So that's not how that works. It will never work like that. It can only work with your conscious collaboration. And that is the activation. And it is waiting for you to activate it. And only then it starts to really come true, be the real journey that brings you the real twin flame with the real results when it is time. It's going to be wonderful. And I hope that helps. Let's look at the ACIM lesson of the day, because it's going to be A Course in Miracles again today. Every day we have A Course in Miracles. And that is because the Christ Masters with whom I co-create the possibility for you to be in that consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union, they have pointed out that how everything was written down in this book, ACIM, A Course in Miracles, is actually exactly like the underlying teaching, well, of all Christ masters. And the word Christ seems to refer to Christianity, but it's actually all cultures, also like India and like Africa and like everywhere, okay? These Christ masters have been everywhere, in all cultures, in all religions and sacred traditions and whatnot. They have pointed out that the underlying teaching for the consciousness shift that all these traditions actually refer to is in that book. That book gives you, yeah, maybe it does talk in the terminology of Christianity. Well, they needed to pick one, to give sort of a coherent story to you. So that's why it was picked. And it is, after all, in the Western world, a widely understood phenomenon, the Christian world, culture, religion. So it makes use of these words and stuff. But it is really about that consciousness shift to union consciousness. And what do you want? Twin flame union consciousness. Wow. Yeah, indeed. That touches each other there. So every day we have an ACAM lesson to support that journey towards the consciousness shift, towards union consciousness, which is then the basis for your harmonious twin flame union consciousness state. Today we have lesson 304. Let not my world obscure the sight of Christ. I can obscure my holy sight if I intrude my world upon it. Nor can I behold the holy sights Christ looks upon, unless it is his vision that I use. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. And what I look on is my state of mind, reflected outward. I would bless the world by looking on it through the eyes of Christ. and I will look upon the certain signs that all my sins have been forgiven me. You lead me from the darkness to the light, from sin to holiness. Let me forgive and thus receive salvation for the world. It is your gift, my Father, given me to offer to your Holy Son, that he may find again the memory of you and of your Son as you created him. Let not my world obscure the sight of Christ. And you can read this lesson in the show notes. And after the show, I always post them on my Patreon. And that is a separate website where you will see a whole collection of show notes, shows, secret videos about twin flames for you, blogs, and all that stuff. It's really awesome. And when you become a member in the second tier, you will also get every month a way to get one of my services or readings or coachings for incredibly much less money. And that's just like an extra awesome thing. But the Patreon is, I feel actually that it is mostly for you to make come true what we talk about here. So if you want to make it come true what we talk about here in the show, go to Patreon and become a member. Because that is how it is spiritually working for you. Back to the ACIM lesson of the day. Let not my world obscure the sight of Christ. So we just talked about also like Christ is actually the idea of, well, the Son of God is it also called, and also in this little text here. And that is the idea that your union is sort of the higher self of both of you and your twin flame. And your union unit, when you step into that with the correct consciousness of harmonious twin flame union consciousness, okay, then you will also become aware that you are now in your twin flame union and that actually there is only one twin flame union in the universe. And everyone that is in harmonious twin flame union now is that together with you now. And there's actually only one such consciousness. And that's all there is. And that consciousness can be called Christ as well. And that is not necessarily like the Christ of Christianity. It can also be Krishna of India or whatever you want to call it. Right? But yeah, it's called Christ here. And then what is said is, let not my world obscure the sight of Christ. So in that consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union, and then surrendered into the idea that there is actually only one harmonious twin flame union that everyone partakes in, and you stepped into that and you live that, and that's how you experience it genuinely. It's not a dream. It's not an idea that you are trying to say every day to yourself 50 times or something. No, it's really something that you experience like that. That is what that is. And that is what makes it all possible to stay with your twin flame forever after, which is quite literally forever after. That idea of that is the Christ and that is the sight of Christ. And what this lesson says is, let me not obscure that with the world. So in other words, let me not go back out of that consciousness state and go back to like, oh, I see the world. I see all kinds of people. I see division. I see separation. I see my twin flame has ran away. I have ran away. I see wars, and I see anger, and I see all kinds of, I don't know what, parties, and I see the world, in other words, and then I've lost it. And then I put the world in place where I once saw the sight of Christ, what I experience when I am in my harmonious twin flame union consciousness state. And I lost that, and I replaced it again with the world and separation. And my twin flame has ran away. My twin flame is not communicating with me anymore, and I hate it. And they have another, and I hate them, and etc. etc. And it's like I did that, right? It's like I did that. I obscured the sight of Christ with the world. So it's like, don't do that. Yeah, that's what this lesson is, I feel. I can obscure my holy sight if I intrude my world upon it. Don't do that. Step into the world of being in harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, and don't let my world intrude upon it. Don't be silly. Don't revert back into separation consciousness. Nor can I behold the holy sight of Christ looks the nor can I behold the holy sights Christ looks upon, unless it is his vision that I use. Right. So you should not really look upon Christ, but you should look, you should no, you should use the vision of Christ to see whatever you're seeing. That is the clue. That is the clue. You should put Christ's goggles on, Christ's glasses. Put his glasses on, dude, not your own. And then you see very different things. You see how much your twin flame loves you. You see how much God loves you. You see how much union is Christ and Christ is union. You see how much that is the love in the world, and that love is all there is. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. So in other words, when I see all these things like, oh, my union is in shambles and they ran off and they have another, and I don't like that, and I hate my life now, and why am I here, and why did God desert me, because I want to be with my twin flame and now it seems impossible, and I only see this impossibility all day long, and I cry all day long because of it, and I have so much self-pity and whatnot. But that is all simply only your perception. You forgot to look through the glasses of Christ. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. There you go. Did your twin flame really walk away? Or did you actually walk away? Perception is a mirror, not a fact. And, this is like, wow. So everything is like turned upside down through this idea here. Yeah, indeed. And, did you remember that I always talk about we need to do the twin flame inner work with the key tool? And it has 4 steps. I have 2 versions, actually, a third version for if you're traumatized too. And these 2 versions and the third version too, they have inside of them, well, you need to answer 4 questions genuinely for yourself. On paper works very well, but without paper later on can also be done when you've got the hang of it. And what is the clue of these 4 steps? What is the clue of the key tool? What is the clue of the twin flame inner work? You need to turn everything around. That's what Divine Mother showed me around 2011 when she gave me this tool. Well, in another form, I just made it into these 2 versions of the key exercise, but actually she had somewhat of a different form, but it comes down to the same. Well, maybe one day we'll have a how do you call that? A workshop for the original version that Divine Mother gave me. That would also be fun, right? If you want that, let me know in in the comments below. Um, what is the clue of it? You need to turn everything around, and Divine Mother told me that was the whole clue. That was what you needed to do. You need to turn your life around, because it's all a mirror, not a fact. And that is how you start to transform yourself in your life into God's version of you in your life, which is the union's version of you in your life, which is your twin flame union's version of you in your life. And your twin flame will just be attracted to that naturally and stand next to you and journey next to you now and forever after when you choose so. So you need to turn stuff around. Perception is a mirror, not a fact. And that is somewhat strange for most people most of the time. And that is why you need to be trained into that. It takes some time before you get the hang of that. It takes a couple years before you sort of get it. And that's some sort of normal. That's why I have my programs. That's why I help you. That's why we have the Twin Flame Abundance Now year group course opening right now on the eve of Saturday 111, the special Twin Flame portal. That's why I created it. And that's why I want to create you inside of that course to become a twin flame coach as well, so that you can help other people understand what this means and really execute it and guide people through what it does to them when that really is executed correctly, because it does a lot. It completely transforms you and how you experience yourself and how you experience your twin flame and how you experience God and life in a way so that it makes your union sustainable and real. That's what that does. You lead me from the darkness to the light, from sin to holiness. And A Course in Miracles talks about sin a lot, but not because this is like your old-fashioned brimstone, fire and brimstone, I will do something to you, God. Not at all. It actually demystifies this whole idea that is just a cultural idea that sin is bad and you've done it and you're wrong. Not at all. It's just a word. And it is completely demystified and explained extensively in this whole book, A Course in Miracles, that we misunderstand the idea of sin completely and utterly. And the idea is that you just you, you just have mistakes inside of you. And that's why we need to turn everything around, remember? And because you have these mistakes inside of you, you miss the mark. And the idea of missing the mark is called sin. That's literally what that means. So the cultural idea of you have sinned is a wrong cultural understanding, and that's sad of culture. But we still need to talk about your misunderstandings, because that's how we create inside of you union consciousness. And you want that because you want to be together with your twin flame. Let me forgive and thus receive salvation for the world. Yeah. You forgive that you were mistaken, and that's your salvation. And because you receive salvation, through you, the whole world does. Because in your perception, the world exists. And in your perception, the world has changed because your perception has changed. It is your gift, my Father, given me to offer to your Holy Son, that he may find again the memory of you and of your Son as you created him. God gives you union. It's also not the teacher that gives you union, but the teacher is needed for us to have a relationship that trains you to receive this portal so that God can give it through me to you. Yeah. It's a present and it wants to be given, but everyone needs this relationship inside the school. We have that relationship inside the school. That's why it's here. Everyone needs that relationship for it to be able to take place, for it to be able to take place at all and safely and sustainably. I can't give it to you outside of the school. And it is very, very, very unlikely that you will be able to receive it outside of the school. I have never seen that happen. It's just highly unlikely. And that's why I have the school. And this is one of the two places in the entire universe where you can get it. And I am just fittingly proud of that. That yeah, that we made it. That this is possible for now for you right here. And I just love that. I'd love to be that relationship for you in which you can make it come true. Let's go to one of my books because we are going to go to the paper book Twin Flames Manifesting Your Abundant Life of Love, and you can buy it on Amazon. And it is actually a collection of a couple of books that are inside of it. And some of these books that are inside of this book, you can also buy as a separate book. Then it's just an ebook. So I opened the book again and something came out as if it was an oracle. And here it is. We are going to talk about a segment that is right in the middle of a whole text about the transhuman multidimensional co-creator, the THMDCC, the transhuman multidimensional co-creator. Now, later when I already used this term, later on I understood that, Satanist people have stolen this word from me. Sort of, they say transhuman and now it's something satanistic. And of course, of course that happens all the time. The same thing, like the Satanists steal your symbols and they make it their own. And now everyone is scared of the word transhuman. Okay. But I just kept the word because I think it just expresses an yet another approach to what is that being a twin flame in harmonious twin flame union. What does that mean? What does that say about you as a human being? And I just had this other approach that I also deemed valid to talk about what that is, and that is the transhuman multidimensional co-creator, because it means you're not only a human being made of flesh and blood, like this is my body, my flesh, but it's also above and beyond being the flesh. It is being the spirit. That's where you are a twin flame. So it's transhuman. It's like sort of a higher than only the body. It's the spirit. It's transhuman, multidimensional, because when you are there, it is not only this dimension of flesh and blood that makes sense, but all dimensions make sense here. Multidimensional, co-creator. You co-create with your twin flame in the unit of your union. And as the unit of the union, you co-create with God. And when that all falls into place correctly, and you are in the state of consciousness of harmonious twin flame union, you also co-create with others in the world in a correct way. And that is called your mission. And that is, I think, a certain approach that I had, like, what is this thing? And this made sense to call it like this, the transhuman multidimensional co-creator. THMDCC. A THMDCC the book says, grows in the growing season of her life, in an organic way, and blooms when it is time, so that ripened wisdom flows to the world by itself and with ease. You cannot overtake yourself to your financial success, meaning, well, you could, but in gold, that is not the goal in and of itself. And gold is the gold consciousness, which is like the further developed consequence of being in harmonious union. Well, you could, but in gold, that is not the goal in and of itself. Yes, you desire a good life, but you feel that this commences by means of integrity with your soul's creativity, by growing relationships between natural complements that sometimes seem opposites because they have not yet experienced the true depth of co-creation. For essential co-creation, you need an accessibility for imperfections to temporarily exist while having steered them to the definitive course of transformation towards perfection and radical self-acceptance too, a force you best combine with proven working models of life so that you can learn and build. Similar to how your full DNA is a grid work hidden inside your molecular buildup that is there for you to access, but to make all parts come to life and collaborate in the vortex of energy, you will need to imbue your energy body or body with your full attention that unlocks its potential, a power that stems from your conscious beingness, not your worldly actions or eloquence. Your creative identity is a permanent blueprint of potential, and the being of imperfection is a sustainable groundwork for the journey towards perfection. Learning to making them dance in a partnership deserves a nurturing space and an expertise guidance. This is what gold entails. Yes, you can model your business with it. Yes, you can set your money goals in it. Yes, you can consider this as learning to open yourself for healing. Yes, you can uncover your essential creative core qualities through it that fulfill yourself and help the people around you uncover that for themselves as well in your unique way. This is far past the level of skills in business alone. However, it can imply the usage of very many skills on the way towards bloom. This is far beyond the realm of needs in emotion. However, it can fulfill very many desires all at once. The first desire it will fulfill will be the creation of a satisfying experience for yourself in meditation or in being, then in daily life, in action, a gate through which you can be there for others in both business as well as emotional relationships. Your mission for the world can now make in space that is bathed into breathed life into. Your mission for the world can now make in the space that is breathed life into their first baby steps. There we go. And who knows where it will grow towards. It is a new adventure on secure grounds, not on an ephemeral base, but a transient and of transient nature. Remember, the last gown does not have pockets to keep your current income. And at the very same time, your energetic state of being, i.e., your wealth, will carry over into your next incarnation anyway. And then again, the heaven that we hope for will come after death is here already anyway. The gate to it can be opened for you when you allow the key to it to come alive inside of you. Your heavenly universe will then come into existence right through you, learning that eventually you yourself are the gate and the light penetrates the earth through your existence outward. This has nothing to do with fairy tales, but with allowing in the frequency of your soul's blueprint that you share with your twin flame. And that is created by source in the physical. While employing all the support you can get for yourself to make that happen from all directions that speak to you. Walking together in this and learning what this means in communion. That is gold. Ask yourself, is this for you? Is it for you? That's a very good question. Is it for you? Does it feel like this is for you? Do you want to come to bloom in the gold consciousness of God as a transhuman multidimensional co-creator that you are, as the twin flame of your twin flame in your harmonious union consciousness state? That feels so fulfilling that it's like it is more than any physical representation of money. It feels so peaceful that it's more than any physical representation of the emotional relationships that you desire. Is that for you? Do you desire more than what your heart can find to desire? Is that for you? Well, then welcome yourself in that portal. That's what the text said. Wow, what a pick again that God made in my own book, because it just pronounced that gate to heaven is here now. And it is a portal, and you are invited to walk through it. And that is the portal of 111, Saturday, November the 1st. We're on the eve of it. And the door opens to the group year course in which we are going to go to gold, because gold consciousness is like the further away goal than harmonious twin flame union. Because when you're there, you will come there, because that's what I bring you towards in the group program. When you're there is still a further horizon, and that's going to be your gold consciousness. And that is just perfection. Yeah. Which is going to be your ultimate heavenly experience on earth, in the concreteness. Is that for you? And if your answer is yes, activate your portal, walk through it, come to the year group course, Twin Flame Abundance Now. Allow yourself to sink into this in our togetherness and really absorb everything that is there for you. Come together with your true twin flame in an eternal way. Start your mission. Become that twin flame coach that your heart desires you to be. And even start to make the money you invested back, and more than that. We are going to get an oracle card. Here we go. From the mission and union cards that I created. Ta-da-da, they are. I saw two of them move and I got them. There they are. Oh, I think we have we've been so much talking about all these very, very core things, these very, very core teachings, walking through the portal, being in the right consciousness state as quickly as you can, because you walked through the door and all that. What else can we get then? Cards like, oh, well, this one, actually, I wanted to show 9, Alchemy. This is like the highest of the high card. Well, we also have the card with the key, right? And that is maybe like higher or something, but this is like the highest card there is around. And we have another one too. And the other one says, B 3.2, Builder Humans What? Forging a team with a single mission from seeing people's natural qualities. Well, guess what kind of team you are going to make, create, be inside of, and nourish. Your union is that team. Let's read the text in the booklet in a minute, and let's have a better look at the other card, 9, Alchemy. And we see here the Vesica Pisces middle section, which is like the two intersecting circles, making a sort of an almond form, and they float through space in two of them. And we also see the sword um, pointing down into the bowl, which is a sexual tantric symbol. They actually both symbols mean twin flames. So, or like the sexual power of twin flames, the sword and the ball, sexual power of twin flames, the Vesica Pisces. So it's like, well, the ultimate um, manifestation of twin flame union. Alchemy. And we see a key and a number 5, which is movement. All right, beautiful. We are going to read the text of that card too, but let's start with B 3.2. And this card's text is called Solving the Riddle That Teams Are. Even though the reality of union makes that twin flames are always on the same inner consciousness level, they can be at seemingly different outer stages and in different phases of a self-educational process to put themselves on the right place. For example, both work at the same time through the block of communication, but one partner has already gone through the sorting out process with their family of heritage and concluded they don't communicate, and the other still has such a process in their future. And this does give a temporarily different interpretation of where they know themselves to stand in union consciously. This results in a situation that forming union team will be accompanied by up and down movements and unclarities. When they can be overcome by feeling the deeper truth of how both moving through the same consciousness level upgrade, this is an enormous win and shows real leadership. The creative leader leading this process is a lover of the natural groundwork of what twin flames are, and as a consequence, not of the constructs that they are clearly essentially not. The patterns they are still in the course of working out and inside union consciousness. Twin flames supporting each other to find this out for themselves and voluntarily coming together in appropriate ways will have a sustainable relationship inside their union. This whole process breeds a kind of leadership inside them that is a co creator that can participate at the same time as lead. You can communicate who and what you are with power and union when you connect with the true source behind and inside yourself that supports, inspires, and motivates you both. This is a very sensitive connection, and this asks for maintenance, contact, and attention in and of itself. The speaking and action stemming from here will show your gifts automatically and bring them into action as well. Yeah, because the card shows actually the triangle, which is the symbol of communication of the two flames, twin flames. And the two flames, they reach up to sort of the sun here, like this sort of planet there. All right. And the other card was called 9, Alchemy. Essentially whole state of being in which hearing, seeing, speaking, moving, creating, time, money, and value are in a mutually flexible relationship with each other, so they dynamically balance each other out. The most whole and healing result of creativity. this is. And the title of this card is You Are the Magician. The moment you get your twin flame relationship into being to such an extent that you automatically start to act without making it a puzzle or doubt it any longer, is the moment of alchemy. It is as a flow that streams through you and acts through you in your unique way. This is an experience that only comes when you are grounded in truth, which means to be connected to the bigger whole and the highest frequencies of the soul. That means that it is a state of being that is very grounded and refined simultaneously. You will come to float in the moment of action that becomes timeless in your experience, yet is not illusionary at the same time. Often we have resistance to the receiving of this alchemy, to make it happen and share from it with your twin flame and others. It is almost there. It nearly touches us. And still it feels insecure, so that we hide behind a mask. And at least partially again behind the curtain of visibility, not entirely reachable by the light. It is odd that it is truthfully your own light that we fear the most, and in which we do not like to be seen. This is truth. Seeing this can help. It can be the start of some essential self compassion, mildness, and non judgment. Self love is indeed the basis of everything that is valuable, because only then you are able to focus on the connection and the relation that is here with the other, with the world. This is where the opening takes place for true co creation. This kind of relationship is not as self evident as much occurring as we sometimes believe. Humankind and the world are not yet very developed, and much spiritual theory that is popularized is more an idea than reality integrated in people's experience. So be not afraid that you are behind or out of step in practice, and practice self compassion in this too. But know that the energetic space this card refers to by some is explored. They can guide you through your experiences and explain them for you in the right context. Even though at the same time, all are building on the manifestation of the new world and make physical what are universal ideas for the new era. This is an eternal process in which the boundaries will be pushed further every time. Co create the new frontiers, learn from the union alchemists, and transform into the one you can be too. As an alchemist, you can bring great shifts in the lives of your twin flame and other people and the world. You are a master in the union magic of life. And however this seems the desired branch of development, it comes with a lot of responsibilities too. When you accept them, you will, on the contrary, become incredibly free to play with the most valuable ingredients of union itself. You set the example for how this universal game works. And here is the door handle to open it for yourself now. It is the door towards the twin flame portal that, for this occasion, is called the opening of the program of Twin Flame Abundance. Now, the special edition in which you can go to your Twin Flame Union as fast as possible and also become educated to become a union coach. Here it is in the chat. And I will also put it in the description box underneath this video in the pinned comment too, right after we closed this live off, and the recording will be up for you. I choose now to explore the most complete depths of my being. I surrender my mind completely to God that He may bring it into perfect harmony with His. I invite God now into my very core that He may make it right, returning it perfectly to its state of eternal wholeness. I trust in the power of divine love. I choose to see the truth that it is universally accepted by all. At the core of every child of God, including me, we're all one with our twin flames and God. It is safe for me to open completely to love now. My love is not elusive unless you command it so. But don't worry, you could not choose against love itself because you are love itself manifest as you eternally. If you command it to leave, love does not leave because it cannot possibly leave, but you leave love by the power of your command. And by that same power, you can command yourself to return to love. And it is so revealing to you that love never left. It is safe to let go. It is safe to relax into love's eternal presence. Love is calling you home, and I'll be there waiting. I have always been here with you, and I always will be. Your next step. Don't forget to actually start the process and jump on the team. Actively come to our community, start doing the correct inner work, and ask the support you deserve through our services so that we can start a relationship that will lead to your harmonious union and beyond. When you're not in a relationship, you're not on the team, and you can't expect the results I'm speaking of and, in fact, guaranteeing. Currently, the door is open towards the year group program Twin Flame Abundance Now, a new version especially for those that want to become a union coach and make their own money, besides going to their true twin flame in harmonious union. I am looking for 6 people to step into this abundant opportunity. You can look at the offer right now at creativeuniverse.earth/abundance now. And you can also look in the description box or at the pinned comment where the link will be clickable. The show notes. You can, however, support this ongoing live Twin Flame news as such. Make it possible as co-creator. Without your participation and financial gifts, I cannot do anything because we need to have an energetic and verbal visual exchange for things to make sense and to know what I need to talk about for you. And also, we're on Earth, and that necessarily always works with money as a means to make sacred content actually physically flow. Therefore, I post the show notes in Patreon. Come over and enjoy, have influence on the broadcasts. Don't miss out on the behind the scenes experience on patreon.com/PEJ at Creative Universe, or go to the description box or the pinned comment for the link. October's Patreon subscriber action is still valid for a couple of hours. And then when it is November, I will come up with a new subscriber action, and I will tell you that in the show coming up. For a couple more hours after this live is over, we still have the Masters reading that wants to be taken up by you. A very special service by the Christ Masters of this new Twin Flame Times. I'll be able to ground you a piece of invaluable inner work advice for your journey. Info is at creativeuniverse.earth/reading, and the normal price is €88, but special October Patreon price for second tier members is €44. And please let me personally know and I'll give you a pay link. I am Petra, in the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union since March 2020. Worked with the new Christ Masters on Earth right now to roll this consciousness state out so everyone can enjoy the abundant life with their true twin flame soon enough, after going in with me right here. Don't search any further. You reached what you were looking for. Om. Amen.